slowly but surely building more community. And so, yeah, it's been focusing on that. And an idea that I had is to do more of these live videos on YouTube. And so I figured, well, I'm live with you guys already in the Zoom. So why not do some double duty? So, yeah, so it's just streaming from my camera onto YouTube. You guys will probably be able to be heard if you say something, I'm suspecting. So yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, which nobody's watching yet, but you might be watching at some point, know that, yeah, I'm on a call with some guys. We're doing our morning embodiment training, and we generally have a bit of discussion as well. So, just so you guys know, nobody can see you. They only see me, but they probably could hear you. And here comes Walter. So, yeah, that was a good session. Definitely noticed some things shifting really around the center of gravity. And I know, Tim, you're probably very well versed in this, having been a former wrestler. For me, definitely over these years, and especially recently this year, my awareness of the center of gravity has become very pronounced, whereas like super obvious to me, and also not just where it is, but how to move it. And so when we're doing the standing practice and things like that, you know, if we don't have awareness of the center of gravity, what I've found through my own practice is that we'll end up creating a lot of excess tension because the body's not centered. So if it's not centered right, it's like leaning one way or another internally, slightly forward, slightly back, or higher than necessary, top heavy, right? So this creates instability. And so in order to compensate, the muscles will try to grab hold. But muscles grabbing hold is the enemy of our practice. When we can find the center of gravity and move it where it's supposed to be, this will do a lot of the work for us. Like, it just eliminates having to slowly but surely find that, oh yeah, I am gripping there. And as I slowly let that go, my center of gravity corrects itself. Over time, it gets refined, right? But if I know my center of gravity and I can put it in the right place, then it becomes much easier to organize the rest of the structure around that, because of the compensatory muscles are not needed. So that's been huge in my practice this week. Just even really dialing it in more granularly to where, okay, I'm in the standing, I'm in my feet. I feel like, you know, I've got good connection. I've got good stretch. The crown is elevated. The hips are hanging. And then it's like, oh, you know what? Feels like my center of gravity is a little bit back. And I guess this is the tendency that like Curtis talks about, is that most people tend to be more in their heels, right? So if my center of gravity is back, I'm going to be more in my heels. If I'm more in my heels, my center of gravity is going to be more back, obviously, unless I'm like, if I'm leaning forward, which can happen also, right? So maybe I'm back too far on my heels, but I'm compensating by leaning forward. So my center of gravity might still be somewhere in the middle, but my structure is not correct. So we're always wanting to release into more correct. But, you know, I'm sure this is common. It's like when the body has tension bound up and areas that aren't swung and open and stretched and connected, we will tend to avoid putting weight in those parts of the body. So if we're not putting weight in that part of the body where it should be, that means obviously our center of gravity is going to be off. And sometimes it's just like we don't want to feel discomfort, right? And so if we have pain inside, discomfort, trauma, whatever it is, psychological, emotional, neurological, whatever, we will tend to avoid those spots, right? We want to keep attention away from those spots. So we don't pressurize them. We don't put the weight in there because that adds to it. So we have to override the tendency to move away from what's uncomfortable. And then over time, certainly this has been my experience, what was formerly uncomfortable starts to feel actually very, like, much more comfortable than whatever I was doing before, because now it's correct. Like, center of gravity is in the right spot, spine is long, the flesh is released. I'm not holding a bunch of excess compensatory tension in the body. So I have freedom, much greater freedom than prior. Do you guys get that sense at all with the center of gravity?
I mean, I definitely lean to one side and then probably more a little on the balls of my feet than the heels, but so working on that suction cup.
Yeah, the plunger.
Yeah, I noticed.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I noticed after the fact that my calves and it's just that my body is contracted. It's like I don't notice that. And then once I start to drop things to my feet, I realize that I have to song those areas. But I realize just how I'm clenching them, like actively clenching them. It's a sympathetic thing, but it's also something that I'm kind of mentally, emotionally kind of chewing on as well. And I feel them kind of do that.
Yeah. So, and we were talking about this also. This is like the theme of the month. The error is the way. The error is the way. The error shows me what I need to undo. So this is why a lot of times it's super helpful to do it wrong intentionally. So like, yeah, if maybe I have some tension, okay, but I'm not really super aware of it, or I can't really release it because it's not activated. But then as soon as I lift the crown, drop the hips, now it's pulling on that thing and now it lights up. It's like, oh, there it is. So now, well, right there, that's the error. That shows me the error initially. Something is grabbing hold that doesn't need to grab hold. So then I stay with that, apply the method to release it by a song. And rather than just override the errors, right? Just pull my crown up manually, sit the hips, force it, blow open my lower back. I can do all that physically, manually. But there's a lot of stuff in the way to where as soon as I let off the gas, I go back into my old shape. So I can slowly raise the crown, sit the hips, and look for the littlest lines of tension that begin to light up. And then just start to work with them. See it, feel it, know it, song it, let those tissues stretch, open, and find a pathway to the ground through the tissues. And then same thing with like the center of gravity, for instance. If it's forward, you notice it's forward. Well, if it's forward, you're going to be tense in the front line to keep yourself from falling forward, right? Or maybe you're gripping somewhere in the back to keep yourself hooked. I don't know. Probably in the front is more likely. But either way, so you can move your center of gravity even a little more forward so that you really light up these tissues. It's like, this is, you're doing it wrong. That's the error. The error is you're too far forward. But don't just go back. Like, we want to undo the error, not just let it go into hiding. So if I just move back without attention, all of that error goes into hiding. I didn't transform it. It just disappeared temporarily. But if I can maybe go a little even more off balance, move my center of gravity slightly more forward, now more of those lines of tension are lighting up and grabbing hold, and I can feel what they're connected to more. So now as I slowly move the center of gravity back, allow that excess tension to start to unravel and unwind. And then that starts the process of sung, and I just continue that process of sung as I move the center of gravity back to where it should be. It's kind of like if something's stuck, but I can't let it go, it's because I'm not consciously doing this. It's just doing it on its own. But if I can trigger the neurology to get in there via consciously trying to contract it. So something's stuck. Okay, well, let's contract it a little bit more. And now let that go. Now contract it again and let that go. Contract again, let that go. And oh, suddenly there's a neurological connection between intentionally contracting this area and then intentionally letting it go, rather than just it's unintentionally stuck. So I'm building a pathway of conscious connection via making an error instead of just try to let it go when I have no connection to it. Like, I try to let it go, but I can only get my attention into this area. Doesn't go in that all that deep, right? So by, again, the error is the way, because I am contracting. I'm just not doing it consciously. So I can't uncontract consciously. But if I start to contract consciously a little bit, it creates a pathway now. Now I have the target. Makes sense?